Welcome to our show, Umbrellas of Hope. We are committed to enrich the life of members of the veteran and military community by connecting them to the resources that they need. We advocate for professional and entrepreneurial opportunities and facilitate conversations of hope, empowerment, and creativity to reduce military and civilian transition difficulties and to help our veteran and entrepreneurs families to thrive. Hi, I'm Yorka, your host. We invite you to be part of this journey as we, together, bring a positive change on new beginnings, opportunity, and success. Our new mini series will be introducing the art of business to share with you how it can enhance your life, your community, and your future. Hi, please welcome Andy Nelson. He's an Army veteran and an attorney that helps clients with business, commercial, and intellectual property matters. And he has to talk to us all the way from sunny California about understanding the value of intellect.
Okay, well, let's see. Aha, okay. I hope everybody can see my screen here. I don't know if I can give some feedback. I'll just assume everybody did. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I understand it's kind of late in the day, so I'm going to try to keep the energy level up as best I can. And maybe I should have titled this slightly different. It's understanding the value of intellectual property, but maybe I should have called it understand, because this is what I really want you as artists, business owners, aspiring business owners, entrepreneurs to understand, really understand the value of that property as opposed to just your physical stuff, your real estate, the things that you really understand as property ownership, but some of these more intangibles. Um, Quickly about me, this is what I do. I've been doing it for 20 years, so I'll just skip over all of that and get right into the meat of it. So what is IP? What is intellectual property? It's just a term that refers to a lot of different things. Words you've probably heard of before, things like copyrights, trademarks, publicity rights I'm throwing in there, but you've probably heard of patents. That's probably a little more common. And then these things called trade secrets. I'm going to talk about just a few of these categories that you're going to see more often, because I want you to understand these are things you're going to run into most often, most likely, and I really want you to understand the value of those. Now, why do you care? This should be intuitive. Brand awareness, loyalty, right? Apple, the Macintosh logo, those are things, those just breed loyalty. Not the only thing out there that does that. Gives you competitive edge, right? Intellectual properties, intangibles can give you quite the competitive edge. Even if you're looking at, say, maybe a PC, $400 or $500, a laptop, you're looking at that Apple laptop, it's $1,000. Nonetheless, given that brand loyalty, that competitive edge, you might pay a higher price just because of that. New markets, right? Grow your own market share. Recently, my kiddos had a chocolate bunny for Easter, but it was a Cocoa Pebbles branded chocolate Easter bunny, right? Cocoa Pebbles cereal, not typically what I've seen before for Easter bunnies, chocolate bunnies, but there you go. Leveraging that brand, that trademark in that case, into something slightly askew or slightly different than what they normally do. And then IP can be super valuable to you because you might sell it, you might be able to license it to others, and you may be able to leverage it in certain ways. So what is the value of it really? Well, we're going to talk about a few areas, and I'll illustrate just why or just how the value might be recognized so you can really understand that value. Now, copyright, let's talk about that first. I'm going to talk about trademarks as well, but copyright is probably the category that most of you will see, or experience most often. Whether you're an artist, whether you have nothing to do with art, just a business owner, you're going to run into it because copyright covers a lot of things. It covers what you see here, literary works, which is just a fancy way of saying things that are written, scripts and screenplays and photography. We're talking about sculpture. We're talking about fine art, applied art, just any kind of content, real content is likely to be covered by copyright. A few things on here like architectural works I don't even have on here. It's just a broad category, so it covers a lot of different things. So let's look at a few things so you can really kind of understand how it might be valuable. This right here, screenshot of a 3-Day Blinds, if you've heard of that company, their website. Now, what are we doing here? Years ago, 3-Day Blinds spent a ton of money redoing their entire marketing approach. Redesign their website, tens of thousands of dollars. And you think, okay, well, that's kind of a means to an end. Website, web content, that's not their business. However, somebody else thought this is pretty popular. We got a competitor here, and you can see that little banner across the bottom. Doesn't seem like a whole heck of a lot, but that company nabbed it. Now, that wasn't the worst thing that it did. What they did was they basically scraped the entire web page or website period and copied it. And you can see right here, I highlighted basically the changes in just a small snippet of content. So again, this is website content, not the business of 3-Day Blinds, but you can see nonetheless, there's a lot of value wrapped up in just that web content because competitors plinked it, okay? They took that, and that's something that they were able to leverage in order to obtain, basically get compensated for it, right? There was value in something that they procured. Why would other people be able to free ride on it? So think about your own content, even if it's not core to your business, it still may have some value, and you want to be able to recognize that. Photographers, okay? Photographers often sell the very thing they do, their photos, or they license them. But there may be value in related spaces, right? So in this case, for whatever reason, years ago, there was a lot of use of marine life photography. And a lot of these things get adapted for graphic art, appear on t-shirts, posters, things like that. In this case, there's a group of photographers out there that love the sea life, and their stuff was getting used quite a bit without permission, unfortunately, regrettably. But there are other businesses, in this case, t-shirt manufacturers who saw tons of value. And, what we had was maybe what we call a forced license, something that these photographers probably didn't necessarily think they'd be able to expand into new markets. But in this case, hey, someone kind of dragged them into a new market, even if they didn't want to be.
Hello, amazing viewers. Your support is invaluable. Your like, shares, and engagement have turned the channel into a vibrant community, and we're deeply grateful. Thank you. If you have been enjoying our content and want to see more, there's a simple way to support us. Hit that big red subscribe button below this video. Subscribing not only keeps you updated on our latest release, but also show your appreciation for what we do. And some exciting news, our next promo, it reveals fantastic products we have crafted with you in mind. From exclusive merchandise to cutting edge tools, we got it all. By purchasing a product, you become a part of our mission to deliver valuable content and take this community to new heights. Every purchase helps us invest in better equipment, expand our team, and explore new possibilities. These products are just things that you own. They are a symbol of your support and love for what we do. So stay tuned for the next video. Check the links below and grab what catches your eyes. Let's embark on this journey together. Thank you for inspiring us. You turn this channel into a community, not just a platform.
All right. Now imagine this. So now we're talking about graphic art and artists here. So a lot of you have heard of Shepard Fairey. This watch company here thought, you know what? We've got our own brand. We can sell our watches. But I tell you what, let's try to do a collaboration with Obey, the brand. who's tied up with Shepard Fairey. That might give us some added value, sell some extra watches. And they did exactly that. You can see right here that it's got, this particular watch has the Obey logo on the face. It's got it on the packaging, and Shepard Fairey was hired to create the overall packaging. Here's the issue. Shepard Fairey was inspired by a band that many of you might know called Motorhead. And regrettably, this watch, the model was called the Motorhead. So he took that inspiration and decided to adapt Motorhead's War Pig logo and put it on the box for this watch, unfortunately without permission. So Motorhead itself, or rather the company that owned its licensing rights, said, hey, there's value in that and we should be compensated for it. So, that's another area where, you might not think someone may be inspired by you, inspired by what you do, but if they get a little too inspired, you may want to think about whether you should be compensated appropriately, because that is your content. And we looked above, copyright is a valuable property right. It's no different than somebody snagging your pencil. Okay. What's this? I'm not going to keep it a mystery. This is a belt buckle. Okay. I guess we'll call this sculpture. Maybe this is graphic art, but it is a belt buckle. And yet another company said, you know what, there's a lot of value in this. A company that we've probably all heard of. It's right there dead center. Problem is, this company didn't pay for that value and just, adopted and used it. Now, frankly, oddly enough, I'll tell a quick story. The company actually told me that they designed this independently, which probably is going to cause a few giggles, because while I can see if there's some common elements, you might have that happen. That's probably just, in this particular case, no way, no how was that belt buckle created independently. All right, back to graphic art. So if you're a graphic artist, sometimes you may just sell your art for what it is. Sometimes you may sell it for another use. In this case, a lot of these individual pieces of artwork get grabbed by t-shirt companies or just more apparel companies. In this case, Billabong bought this artwork off a graphic artist, and this particular t-shirt saw a lot of success. As a matter of fact, another company, one that we refer to often as the Magic Kingdom or Magic Kingdom, right? Thought it would be great to be inspired by it and come out with a very similar shirt and leverage additional value off of their own shirt, being Pirates of the Caribbean. And if you look really closely, we have another little image right there, which is an image of Captain Jack Sparrow, which really, truly is an image of the real human, Johnny Depp. So we have additional property in there. I mentioned publicity rights earlier, the right to use your name or your likeness. That's what we have here. So Disney's adding all kinds of value to this particular t-shirt, except the fact that they did not see the value, if you will, in the original piece of artwork, and kind of created their own without permission. Another, just like the last example I gave you, oddly enough, a response I got was that I received from Disney was that this was created independently and was not in any way similar to the original whatsoever. So I guess the reasonable minds may be a little different on that one. Not sure. Okay, and then real quick here, photography, and I want to talk about rights of publicity. You yourself, humans, okay, have a right in most states to control commercial exploitation of your image, your photograph, your likeness, your signature, maybe even your voice, things like that. And here we've got an interesting situation where we've got a model who had a photograph taken of her for use in, I think, Halloween costume advertising. But that photo was adapted to vector art by somebody halfway across the globe, which in turn was downloaded and used by somebody very locally here for an advertisement, not knowing that this was a piece of artwork depicting an actual real human being. And that real human being did not give permission to have her likeness used, right? So a valuable right that a lot of people don't know. So, if you appear in certain commercial uses appear of you yourself, your whether it's your photo, your likeness, again, your voice signature, something like that, there may be a right that it's property right that you should be compensated for. All right, switching subjects. The other intellectual property category that you often see and you experience every single day of your life, multiple times per day, trademarks. Not content like we talked about. Now we're talking about things that are identifiers, right? This will be intuitive. Words, logos, names, colors, etc. The things that when you see them, experience them, you have an immediate reaction, immediate association with some kind of product or service. And we'll go, this will make sense, right? Right here, you got three examples. You got a word, you've got a logo, and you've got a slogan. All three of those, you think of an athletic brand, right? Or a shoe wear company. You have that immediate association. But think about some of these other alternative things, colors, right? Some of you probably recognize the Louboutin sole, the Boise State football field, the green and yellow for John Deere. Colors themselves may, or how about UPS's brown, right? Things may create an immediate association with the brand. So don't just think in terms of what's my business name, or how do I, do I have a slogan? Do I have just my logo? If you have other sorts of very distinct identifiers, you might want to think about whether there's a property right there. How about this? Product configuration. You might have, a lot of you recognize what's on the left immediately as the PlayStation controller. In the middle there, that's a little bit difficult, but what we see there is a store configuration of all things, right? That is a luggage store. It's arranged kind of like the inside of a jetliner. And on the right, you're probably saying, Andy, I don't see anything distinctive about pasta, corkscrew, whatever, fusilli, I guess. Well, no, you're right. But what if I tell you that this is a corn chip, right? That's pretty distinctive for a corn chip. So I've never seen these in the store myself, but if you were to experience these, you probably would think of a particular brand and one brand only. Think about intangibles as important, as valuable, and maybe more valuable than physical stuff. Real estate, if you're an artist, your brushes, your easels, your tangible things, your personal property, those intangibles, like I said, just maybe more valuable than any of that other property. And it's not something that you want to kind of leave the door open on, lest you might lose it all. Now, what I want to do is I want to talk about design patent really quick, just because I didn't cover it earlier, because this may apply to you as well. A little bit extra. Design patents, similar to copyright, protects what we call ornamental features. This is really for goods. So if you design goods, design patents might offer you some added protection that you want to think about. What that means is it's not a patent that protects a functional item. It's not your classic mousetrap, and I have a patent over a mousetrap, but an ornamental feature that's non-functional. So on the left, you'll see Oakley sunglasses, particular ornamental feature. It's not necessary that sunglasses or eyewear, period, look like that. It's purely ornamental. On the right, Deckers, brand that produces Uggs or Ugg boots. The upper you see there is purely ornamental, non-functional. That button, non-functional, ornamental feature, protectable. No one else can do it. In the middle, I think some of you might have figured this out by now. It's a little bizarre. This is a barbecue or a grill, purely in the design of a pig, or in the shape or appearance of a pig. Purely ornamental. It doesn't need to be that way. It's not functional. If it were functional somehow, it wouldn't qualify for design patent. But since it's purely ornamental, the owner of this patent has basically a monopoly on that exact design for several years. So there is yet even another avenue for protection for artists and business owners. Send me an email. I will send you a PDF. It's just a simple kind of cheat sheet that helps you protect trademarks of yours. 5 tips on how to protect your trademarks without having to spend any money registering them. Very simple. Anybody can follow them, and it's useful.
Hi, I'm Nurka. Thank you for watching my content.
I actually journaled after our first visit. This is my second outing with Fishing with America's Finest. And I read that journal last night. And what I had very distinctly noticed is that I commuted down here to the park, our first time out, and I came in listening to some real, headbanging rock music. And when I left, at the end of the day, after being out here in the open air and in the vast land of the Everglades, I went home listening to different music, and I had noticed it. And when I got home, even my taste buds for my cravings for different foods started opening up to different things. And I guess I just started maturing, and more importantly, healing the heart and the mind and that connection. It was like the Everglades and the outing here with Fishing with America's Finest kind of sparked it, and it just kept going from there. And I kept in touch with you, and we talked. And I don't know if in a past life you're obviously, quite obviously in this life, a healer of sorts, and you are in the absolute right spot dealing with people that definitely benefit. I know I did. And it started with just one outing to the Everglades with you, with Fishing with America's Finest.
As a female veteran, how did it affect you?
It was profound. I it was so profound that I actually had to write about it. Wrote a novel. And it just stayed on my mind because I love the quiet. That was the first time it was quiet. So it gave me peace for a little bit. And I miss it.
It gives me peace every time I come out here.
Mm-hmm.
It never gets old. It's what's so amazing about being out here. I don't even know the number of the trips that I've made in my lifetime to the Everglades. And each and every time, it moves me.
Yeah.
It's, there's so many things in life that we do, things that we love, whether it's an ice cream or a restaurant. And after a while, you're like, I want to try something else.
You have and will continue to enjoy this journey in creativity with us. In today's world, where artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, advancing science, and autonomous vehicles is our new normal, creativity has never been more important. This new mini-series of Umbrellas of Hope was created in order to inspire you and empower you by giving you the creative confidence to redesign the world around you, to create new solutions that are invaluable for today's society, powered by your vision, your own unique talents, and limited only by your imagination. Our world, our society, our future needs you.